Hello guys, Rollbat1 here, coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video to talk about, well, a card that's being released in Blazing Vortex. Now, when I first read this card, I was like to myself, oh, this is actually a pretty interesting card, it's a pretty useful card, and I started thinking to myself more and more after reading this card that, Konami are actually taking a step in the right direction. Now, obviously there are a ton of cards in the game, and Konami has a plethora of different cards that you can actually play. But when I read this card, I finally realized that Konami are trying to fix a problem in the game that is been in the game for a long time now and is just overtaken the game to an extent where the game isn't as fun as it was before, and I feel like this card is actually a really cool card. So this card we're going to be talking about in today's video is Underdog, a new trap card coming out in Blazing Vortex with the effect that states, during your turn, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls, and during your opponent's turn, negate the effects of all face-up monsters you control. So pretty much, on my turn, your board's negated, and on your turn, my board's negated. Which is actually, in hindsight, not a really good card in terms of what the game is currently like, because, well, if you can just go off on your turn, then you're just going to go off and I'm not going to be able to stop you with this one trap card. But in hindsight, when you actually think about this card in a bigger picture and think, oh, this card is actually really good for the game in a way that we really haven't looked at. And the reason behind this is, this card says, I negate the opponent's entire board on my turn. Now, a lot of people are probably thinking, well, what's that matter because they've already made their board? Well, look at it this way. The game right now in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very, very specific. We've got combo decks that make 10 negate boards, 5 negate boards, or a VFD that says your opponent can't play on their turn, a Utopic Zexal that says your opponent can't play on their turn, but Underdog is actually a really cool floodgate because it says, oh, my opponent, sure, they can have their big monsters on their board that say negate, but Underdog comes out of nowhere and literally looks at the opponent and says, well, you can't use any of those effects on my turn, and if you activate this card before your opponent has made their negate board, sure, they could destroy it with like an MST, a Tornado Dragon, Cosmic Cyclone, Lightning Storm, anything like that. But in terms of being a card that just says, oh, I'm trying to balance the board in a way that really doesn't happen very often, is really, really strong. And I'm just like, guys, this card has a great effect. Sure, it just doesn't work in this one instance where it doesn't stop your opponent from doing what they're doing, but in terms of a card that says, I want to play the game, this card is really good because it's that type of card. It's a card that says, I want to play the game. Now, obviously, this card will only see play in control decks. It will never see play in a combo-based deck because it will stop your combo plays from being able to be used during your opponent's turn. But in terms of a card that looks like this and says, I'm able to now play on my turn and my opponent can't stop me from playing the game, this card is really, really insane. Now, what decks do I really feel like this card will be used in? Because I can see this deck card actually being used in multiple different decks. Like, for instance, Autogeist, this card will definitely be used in Autogeist because even if you have this card face up, you can still go ahead and activate your Autogeist effects on your turn because if you have cards like Autogeist Protocol, which says your Autogeist cards can't be negated, which is a really strong card. This card will definitely be used in decks like Elder Lich because, well, I can just go ahead and special summon the Golden Lord from my hand and not really care, or I can special summon it from my deck. This deck card will definitely be used in decks like Guru because, yeah, if I flip the Guru during your turn, I won't really care if the card is negated because, well, I will most likely have a Fiendess anyway in hand, and then I just reset it with Subterra, the trap card that lets you reset and boost and has four different effects, and then just go ahead and then flip it on my turn, or go ahead and boost its attacks and then reset and then just do all of that. And it's just like, this card is a really great card in terms of control decks and decks that really do have a way to play the game, and I really do like that, how Konami has made a card that literally says, oh, you're a combo player? Well, your 8 negate board can't happen. And that's really cool to me, because if you're saying this one card with 4 other trap cards, that's really insane, because it means that you have ways to stop your opponent on their own turn, and you also have a big way to stop your opponent on your own turn. You stop them on theirs, and you stop them in yours. It's a really strong card because of that. But now, looking at this card in a bigger picture though, this card isn't the best card, and I understand. This card is not the best card ever created. Underdog is not the best card ever created in the game. Sure, it can be stopped, as I said, MST, Cosmic Cyclone, Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Dust, tons of cards that can actually stop this card. But in terms of a card that is being a card that just says, oh, my opponent has an 8 negate board, well, I'm just going to negate their board because this floodgates as I can, and that's just really, really cool to me. Now, obviously, there are better cards than this in the game, and I'll be honest, there are a lot of better cards in the game compared to this one. Skill Drain one instantly comes to mind because it just negates all the board permanently. Lose one turn, a card that just says, oh, whenever you special summon, turn it to defense and negate it. There are a lot of cards in the game that are better than Underdog, but in terms of a card that just says, oh, on my turn, your board's negated, and on your turn, my board's negated, it's a really strong card, and it's a really good card for control decks, especially if they go first, because then they get to set their cards, establish some sort of board, and then watch your opponent try to combo off, and you flip Underdog, and you'll be like, well, now on my turn, you can't do anything. So yeah, this card is a really cool card. It's a really interesting card. It's a card that I feel like is actually not getting a lot of praise from what I've seen, because I've seen people read the card, and I've seen people say the card's not very good, and I've seen people say the card isn't the best card to actually play in the game, and I would say no, the card is pretty decent for what it can do, and it definitely deserves some recognition for what the card is. But guys, what do you personally think of this card? Do you think this card is a good card? Do you think this card is a bad card? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, because Underdog to me is one of those cards that, yes, it's a very niche card, and yes, it's a very specific card, but I personally see it as a really strong side deck card, a card that just comes out of nowhere, stops combo decks from stopping you, and I feel like that is a really, really nice card to play. But guys, as I said, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. This is Underdog. It is a really interesting card for what it is, and I really do like it. So yeah, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more YouTube videos. Check out the stuff in the description as well, guys, such as my Discord, where I'll answer pretty much any question I see that there's a message. It's right in the questions. I'll go ahead and answer it. Go ahead and check out my Twitch. I've been streaming here and there, so follow me on Twitch so I can get that big thing up. I want to try and get bigger on Twitch as well as on YouTube, so I've got like that in the back as well. And please check out the sealed only content that's just been started on the channel as well, guys. Sealed only league. There's tons of different YouTubers involved, and I'd love you guys to watch that as well. But that's all I have to say, guys. Charmander is back in the background. I am feeling a lot better after being really sick, and I will see you guys in the next one. Rollback1 signing out. Later all.